Hey there everyone, this is Joe from Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au, selling you the best bullion bars and coins, shipped to you worldwide from Melbourne in Australia. This is your weekly precious metals technical analysis where we take a look at the big four: gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. I will put a link to the time code to skip straight ahead to the start of the analysis. I'll put that below. Let's just talk about another quick couple of things first, of course. Bullion Now YouTube page, now 1,270 subscribers, a whole bunch of new subscribers after hitting over the 1,000 mark. Thank you to all the people who have joined the family. You certainly joined the winning team. Doesn't it feel like it? When you see the subscriber count going up and up every day, it gives you that kind of reassurance that, yeah, you joined the right team. So welcome to all the newbies. In particular, we've had a whole bunch because of this video, which has now started to go mini viral. I don't say viral, but mini viral. Now it's close to 10,000 views, and that's up a whole bunch, nearly probably seven. We're about sort of 2,000 roughly, and then about 2 or 3 days ago, it also got picked up by the YouTube algorithm, I believe, just like this one back here, which was, where are we here, that Pamp Monster Box one that's had over 33,000 views now. Similar things happening now with this one, the epic unboxing of buried silver coins, and now it's at 9.2, closer to when you look at in the back end at the analytics, it's actually closer to 9.8 at the moment, so close to 10,000. So a lot of new subscribers have come on board due to that. Again, welcome. I'll let everyone know now. They are all gone. They are sold out. So you will not see them on the website, as in these particular coins. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we bought these eagles back from a customer in the monster box, and you can see all the dirt there. That's because they were buried underground. We're not making this up, by the way. There's obviously going to be some people who go, oh, it's staged and it's this and that. No, we bought them back from a customer who had them buried under a flower bed for 6 years, and buried under a flower bed. The flower bed was just exposed to the elements. It wasn't undercover in a greenhouse or in with a roof over the top or whatever. Exposed to the elements. We opened up the box live in front of you guys. The straps are real. Everything's real about it, and we didn't even know what year the coins were. We opened them up, and it turns out they were in pristine condition. I mean, really, really good, as you can see right here. And yes, we were using our grubby, dirty, oily, stained fingers. We apologize for that. We will use gloves next time, we promise. What we made sure to do, though, is that these coins, any coins that we touched with our bare hands in this video, we didn't sell, we didn't give to customers, and a couple of them we'll just keep them for display purposes, but we've just bought them ourselves because, we care about you caring about your metal. So as you can see here, they turned out to be from 2013 and in absolute pristine mint condition as well. So we popped them up on the website for a dirt cheap price for eagles, particularly almost anywhere around the world, pretty much, particularly here in Australia because we're a giant island, and you've normally got to get them shipped over, and there's all those wholesale costs involved. But because we bought them at spot price, we could offer them for a cheap price. Anyway, long story short, they're now all sold out. So our apologies for that. We may or may not be able to get our hands on more, depending on if... our understanding is that the seller may have more to sell. It was sort of an indication of that, but we don't know for sure. So if they are willing to sell more to us, hey, we'll buy them from them, and we'll sell them to you guys again for a cheap price. But as of right now, those eagles, those buried treasure eagles, are no longer for sale. They are sold out. Okay, on to the analysis. Thanks for waiting there, or if you hit the time code, good on you. Welcome. Let's look at gold. We have seen a very interesting dip in the price. So my apologies, we haven't done a video for a couple of weeks now. So last Thursday, I missed doing one. So we didn't do one last week. It's almost the same thing I've been saying in the last couple of weeks, the last few videos. I am going to stay neutral on both gold and silver. However, I'm so close to edging towards the bias to the downside now. I'm so very close. I will just stay neutral for now, simply because we've really yet to break significantly down through this triangle. I would call that sort of still within the range. But what we saw 2 weeks ago now, I have to count back about 14 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're around about here. And I was saying, could be neutral. Watch out for the possible dead cat bounce to the downside, but I gave you the target. So here's where I think we'll go if we head higher. Here's where I think we'll go if we'll head further down. But we have seen a sideways movement. We did have that rise from 1480 all the way up to the top end right here of this trend line here. It looked like it was going to possibly break through, but no, it was a fake out. And oftentimes from a failed move, so that's a failed move to break out of this triangle pattern, oftentimes from a failed move comes a fast move in the opposite direction, and we certainly saw that. So a dip all the way back down to 1480, so right back down to where it came from. I can't yet call a bias to the downside yet, as I said, because it did pierce it a little bit, but we have then broken back out. I would have wanted it to go back down to maybe even here at sort of 1475, definitely down to here at 1465 before I was going to say, yeah guys, we're heading on our way back down further. We're close, but we're not just there yet. So we could possibly trade in this range for a little bit longer, but as I've been saying over the last month or so, the decision will be made definitely by no later than the middle of this month. So we've only got about a week to go, I think, before the decision is made. It might happen sooner, but the decision will definitely be made. I am slightly edging towards bias to the downside. I just can't do it straight yet because of that reason. Let's take a look at the weekly. As you can see, just you see that weekly dip right there down to almost touching the 18 average of lows on the weekly time frame. Let's take a look at the monthly, and this is where I'm just cautioning everyone about the potential for the dead cat bounce, where you have a rise, you come back down, you have another green candle up, it looks like it's going to continue, and then it's the fake out and it heads lower. So please still keep that in mind. Just staying neutral for now though. And of course I've been talking about the level of $1,375 as being, that's that line right here, as being the line in the sand for me. I don't think it would drop any further than that if we see that big dip. What would that do in terms of the price in Australian dollars? That remains to be seen, because it depends on what the Aussie dollar is doing against the US dollar. Let's take a quick look at the Aussie dollar. That is right there. As you can see, because the dollar has been going up and down a little bit in terms of the US dollar, we've seen, rather than that big move right up, it's a little bit more bearish, I guess, on the Aussie dollar terms. But again, it depends where the US is going. If we have a dip down to that sort of 1375 mark, you're moving close to kind of your $2,000 mark in Australian dollars. So if we do see that move to about 1375 in US, you could see it heading down to about $2,000 roughly in Australian dollar terms. And I do know there are a number of people who have been in the store, and we've chatted about this over that time, who are ready to back up their trucks if it hits back down to the $2,000 level mark in Australian dollars. Is there anything else I need to talk about with the gold price moving higher? Look, if this is a fake out to the downside and we head straight up again, I just don't know. I've been talking about, of course, the level between about 1700 to about 1800 is going to be your play moving higher. Moving up to the end of the year, I don't see it moving any higher than, I don't see it moving any higher than up to 1700 by the end of the year. So right here is January 1st. If you can look right there, see that line? January 1st right there. That's as high as I think it could get by January 1st. I don't see it traveling all the way up to, say, 1800 by the end of the year. My personal opinion, and that is not financial advice, maybe a little pierce above, but I don't see it reaching all the way up there. It seems like a bit of a stretch for that kind of time frame. Anyway, that's just my opinion on that. Let's take a look at my friend silver. Right here, similar thing. I'm staying neutral for now. Just keep in mind the dead cat bounce. Looking a little bit better for silver actually, because after that rise we broke off through that descending triangle pattern here, came up to a high of 1830, and we came back down to 1737. It's looking more positive for silver, and not necessarily, I wouldn't be as close to the edge of going towards the bias to the downside for silver than I am for gold, but I will stay neutral for now. Looking on the weekly time frame, you can see that dip, big dip right there. Could this be a buying opportunity? Yeah, quite potentially. Let's take a look at the monthly, and that's where I look at it and go, whoa, I can see it moving down, but I am going to start, I am staying neutral on this one. Sorry for being neutral for all this time, guys. It's just I don't want to be the guy who definitely says yes or no going one way or the other. Sometimes I'll call it and I'll get it right, but I can't do it right now. I do need to see a little bit more time go by. But as I've said, moving down from here, the lowest I see is $15.50. That was based on a Fibonacci analysis. Now, interestingly, on the monthly time frame, it's also now based on the 18 average of lows right here, and this line right here, which is going through some key points previous, and that's right about there. As I said, 1550 is the lowest I could see it going before. Now that would be the bottom out for me before we start heading higher. Silver in AUD. Look, so if we keep going higher, as I've said, we've got that $21 mark, and then we've got that $26 mark right here. I've been saying this for a number of weeks now, so I know you guys are probably getting a little bit bored of that, but we're just in a neutral phase for me at the moment. So I'll skip silver in Australian dollars, and we're going to go straight to platinum. Now this is an interesting one. Let's take a look at platinum. As I've been calling for, and actually I'll do that on the weekly because it looks a little better. Platinum on the weekly. Since we broke through here, through this triangle pattern here, since we broke through here and went up to $1,000, and since we came back down to right here, let me get rid of that. Since we came back down to here, I've been calling that we will not see a lower price than this right here ever again. I know it's a big call, I just don't see it happening. Particularly where I think the prices of the metals are going, in the not too distant future. I don't think we're going to see that. Please do not take that as financial advice. It's just my own personal opinion. But I don't think we'll see any lower than $870 in US dollar terms. Depends what it is in your own currency. But since we've come down to that 870 mark, lo and behold, look there, what an interesting little movement there, because I've posted this line in a number of weeks ago, could be months ago now, and we came just right up to it, and it's been seen as a level of resistance. That's at 955. So far, a little bit of a dip, now down to about 930 roughly in US dollar terms. But I am firmly believe we're not going to see lower than that. So we could just bounce in a range in between there for a bit, but I think we're going to see higher prices for platinum coming soon. I'm not even going to give you the lower prices. You can just pause this video and check out the horizontal blue lines that I've got marked there as the potential lower prices. And finally, Palladium. We've seen a little bit of a dip in the price, just not much though, but we've come off that high of 1822. So let's actually go back daily, because I've been very, very bullish on Palladium. We'll go back 14 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, cool. We had yet to break through the $1,800 mark. I've been saying that 2000 is definitely on its way. It is still on its way for sure. We've come up to, in this 2-week period between videos, 1823. That's pretty damn awesome. 1823 as my phone buzzes before I finish the video. 1823, we've had that dip down to, what do you know, the 18 average of lows on the daily time frame. Interesting, right there. Look at that, smack right bang on it at 1760 roughly. And we've seen pump back up to about 1790, hovering about 1790 right now. I'm not changing my forecast on this at all. We are absolutely heading to 2000, anywhere between 2000 to 2600 US dollars. 100%. That is, I'm not even, this is as biased as I can humanly be. I'm saying 100%, not even 51%. And I could get really burned on this. If this has a massive crash, I could get totally burned, but I believe 100%. It's at least heading to $2,000, anywhere between, and I will include $2,000 or, $1,995. Give it a $5 mark, because sometimes if it's a psychological value, people will put in sell orders before the psychological value to try and lock in their profits before other people. But definitely in the $2,000 to $2,600 range is where we will land before we have a big sell-off. I don't think the sell-off is happening here just yet. Hasn't gone up high enough yet for me to warrant it's selling off majorly from here. So definitely heading to at least 2,000, give or take $5, but between 2,000 and 2,600. Not giving you the low prices. We'll talk about that later once it hits that mark. I am so confident on that. You can take that to the bank, but it's not financial advice. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's gold to silver ratio, of course. Have you missed the technical analysis? Did you miss it last week? I did. I wish we had not have been as busy, but being busy in the store is good because it's good for business. Right here, 84.5. I still believe we might hit the 1 to 100 mark. Again, if gold has a big rise before silver does, we might hit that 1 to 100 ratio, and I don't think it could go too much higher than that. Before people start swapping their gold for silver. Swapping their silver for gold, I should say. Silver for gold? Yeah, silver for gold and then waiting for a gold to silver. You know the deal with the gold to silver ratio. And that is it, gang. Hit the big red subscribe button, join the family. We are the winning team. And of course, head over to bullionnow.com.au. Again, selling all the best bullion bars and coins shipped to you worldwide. We've added a few new products. I believe we've added low premium 1 kilo bars back on to the website because we had a big buyback of like 50 something kilos, something like that, from a client. And have we added any more gold stuff? I think we've added gold mice as well. Yep, right here, Perth Mint 2020 gold mice. And as of right now, the kookaburras, just so everyone knows, the 2020 kookaburras are currently in back order. So you can order them and you can lock in the price as they are right now with your various bulk discounts, but just be aware they are available on back order, so we can't ship them off straight away because we don't have them because we sold out of our previous allocation from the Perth Mint. So anyone ordering around now and sort of a few days ago as well, you'll get them as soon as we get our new shipment in from the Perth Mint. That's it, gang. Thank you for hanging around. Appreciate it. Stay safe and we'll speak to you soon.